You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
Killers of the Flower Moon. This is Martin Scorsese's latest picture. This true crime story is a whodunit and a lesson in the bloody history of a wealthy Native American tribe. But at 3.5 hours long, is it worth it?
That is the question I'm asking myself. We want to bring in movie critic Grae Drake for her review. Of course, it's Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio. You have all the makings of an amazing, but that 3.5 hours.
Oh, I know. Listen, it's tough, but it pretty much flies by.
It does?
Yeah, so I'll be honest and say it gets a little slow towards the end once you have experienced these atrocities that he's bringing to life on the screen. But still, I think a really worthwhile movie is as epic as it is impressive and important. So you've got the Osage indigenous community in the 1920s, and they have the good fortune / bad fortune of getting oil on their land. So they have all this prosperity, and all of the white settlers in their community in Oklahoma, they do everything they can to scheme this money away from people, and eventually they just start murdering them.
Oh my goodness.
It is shocking. It is a story I knew nothing about. I mean, I think it's very much under-taught in our history lessons. And so this movie is super important, and of course, because it's Scorsese, it's like so compelling to watch. Leonardo DiCaprio is playing Robert De Niro's nephew.
Oh, wow.
They're the top schemers. And yeah, and it's really an unbelievable movie. And award season has officially kicked off now.
Good point.
It is giving those vibes for sure. And it's a little bit of a love story, is that right?
Right, because in the clip you see Lily Gladstone, and she is just unbelievable in the movie. And so Leonardo DiCaprio's character has married one of these women, and her family is sort of the focus of all of these murders. And it is like, you're so conflicted from like moment one. You're like,
oh, great. So it's a movie of 3.5 hours of anxiety.
And I watched it, so you can or cannot at your discretion.
I appreciate that. Well, let's go to the lighter side now. You see the billboards everywhere, and I had not heard about this the lessons in chemistry, and a friend of mine said, oh, do you know about it? It was a book, it's amazing, and I didn't. So now I want to watch.
You have to. So I didn't know anything about this, but Brie Larson, aka Captain Marvel, is playing Elizabeth Zott, and she's a chemist in the 1950s when not a lot of women were chemists and had an education in science. And she ends up pregnant, without a job, fired from her department, trying to figure out what in the world she's going to do. So this 8-episode series on Apple TV Plus is all about like how she brings her passions and her knowledge together and inspires a whole bunch of women so many years ago. And basically this is a show for people who, if you cringe when you hear a man say to a woman that she should smile more, then you should watch it. But if you don't understand why that's terrible, then you should skip it.
Or watch and learn why it's terrible.
Great point.
Please educate yourself. Don't say that or anything like it.
You're just so much prettier if you just smile.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'll show you my teeth, but it won't be a smile.
Exactly.
So Brie Larson is great in a super different role from how we're used to seeing her in her recent superhero movies. So this is a big recommend.
All right. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll check that out. This one I'm not so sure about because I'm not a big scary movie fan, but tell us about The Fall of the House of Usher that's coming out, of course, just in time for Halloween.
One of the most important details about this is that it's created by a man named Mike Flanagan. So he's created several other shows for Netflix, like The Haunting of Hill House and The Midnight Club and Midnight Mass. It's a slow burn scare. It can be gory, it can be shocking, but you really have to settle into it. Okay, this isn't a fast-moving, crazy kind of show. And in this particular show, you've got a brother and a sister who are the head of a very shady pharmaceutical company.
Oh, okay.
Right. So one by one, all of their heirs are being murdered. And only one person truly knows what's going on. So there's a lot of mystery. They're all kind of based on Edgar Allan Poe stories. They're all named, all of his different stories, all the episodes. And so for me, I'm a huge fan of his because it's his vibe is creepy. His vibe is slow burn, and I'm into that because a lot of times with horror these days,
Yeah, it's like just
In your face,
yeah,
gore, and
this is not Saw X
Okay.
for sure. And
Okay.
so merits to both, but ultimately, like this one is just a little bit
You
more
liked
like
it.
shivers down
Yeah.
your spine.
so for wimps like me, maybe we can handle this though. Is this something for people? Because I don't like to be startled,
the
and I don't like
in-your-face.
gore.
Yes. So wimps like you are still going to be tested.
Okay, good to know.
okay, good to know.
So just get the covers ready to like
Yeah.
pull up over your eyes.
Okay, good to know.
A lot of murder this morning. So next week, can we maybe focus on something?
Yeah, sure. Halloween coming, no problem.
yeah, perfect timing for that.
I'll just check that one off, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Grae. Appreciate it. We appreciate you being here this morning.